Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to our podcast, episode number 1. Today we're going to discuss the spiritual aspect of loving yourself, protecting your energy. And what do you have to say about it, sis? I guess you can start it out.
Okay. What I have to say about loving yourself. You know, as women, we're very emotional creatures. And one thing I think that we forget on top of taking care of, the children and working and doing everything that we have to do, we forget to go within ourselves. And spiritually, that is the way to love yourself, to connect with yourself, to know yourself is to, spend time with yourself and go deep.
Hmm.
Also, another way, you get to learn who you are is to look who's around you. What are those people like? And really take that in, you know,
Yes,
really be real with yourself, really real with
yes, and I like how you mentioned that about,
yourself.
being aware, of who you surround yourself with because that's part of, protecting your energy. It does talk about, you know, with wisdom, in the word that, you are who you surround yourself with, right? So
Yep, yep,
that's pretty vital because some people that surround you and you're not paying attention, they could be part of your downfall. There's, you know,
yes, because they're
yes.
influencing you. They're feeding your spirit. Who you call your best friend, who you call your sister, whoever is close to you. Look at their characteristics, and really, really think about yourself and think about how they influence you, you
Mm.
know. Um, and you can start there. You can start off looking at how, you know, people are around you and look and be real with yourself about these people, you know, really. A lot of times we like to stay away from, looking at certain people in that light that we don't necessarily want to look at them in, but they are that certain way. You have a leech, but that's you love them, and you don't want to do anything to hurt them. You want them to stay around. You really have to be real with yourself, especially if you're trying to get somewhere. If you're constantly making yourself available to people that are feeding off of you and not, you know, feeding you as well, you know, you have to be real with yourself with that. You know, um, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and sometimes it could just be a spirit. The reason why
Yeah.
you can't even let go of that particular person,
Yep.
it could be like a spirit behind that. Because
Hmm.
if this person is not of the best interest or they're, destructive, for you, then why are you keeping that and keeping them around unless, again, everything is spiritual, right? It's not just the physical. So there has to be some spiritual aspect behind that, you know? Like, for instance, it could be, you know, um, attachment issues, you know, or, daddy issues, or, and the sort for the reason why, you're not able to let that person go. Or it could be lust, you know, it could be various spirits why you decide to allow someone to stay in your inner circle or in your life and they're
Yeah.
not of good. So,
It very well could be your lack of the holes that you have within yourself, but that comes with also going within yourself, like I was talking about earlier a few minutes ago, going within yourself and being real with yourself about these things that you suffer from. Are you afraid to be alone? Are you keeping these people around because you're afraid to be by yourself? Um, you know, Do you lack confidence in yourself? You have to be real with yourself,
Mhm.
because if you can't face them, you can't deal with them if you don't know what they are. And it may hurt. You take your time. See, a lot of us think that, especially in this world where they're trying to make us like really, 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 masculine. You don't have time to, cry or take care of yourself. One thing that I was taught going through my healing journey is treat yourself like a baby. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're going through these certain things, which you lack. Like, say, your mom was always at work and you didn't have that nurturing spirit when you were, I don't know, crying and broken in a way as a child, and you didn't have anybody to, hold you and talk to you and tell you it was going to be okay. You have to be that for yourself to grow that inner child up. Some of the women, we are still stuck at that 5-year-old little girl that had something terrible happen to her. And so you have to listen to that little girl. You have to help grow her up. And so you can become the woman that you are supposed to be.
Yep. And if it has to take just, cutting people off, or, cutting social media off, or, you know, anything, just so you can take that time, to just heal and, build yourself back up, then, do that. Sometimes you need to just have that moment of, you know, um, seclusion, so that
Mhm.
way you're able to, get yourself to where you need to be,
Mhm.
and that's fine.
Yes, it really is. I mean, even if you need, some of you may be good at journaling, and maybe writing it out and getting it out in a journal may be very therapeutic for you. Do it, because you didn't feel heard as a child. So now you want to write, or um once you look at who's around you and you're real with yourself about who is really for you. If you have a close friend that you know is really there for you, it's okay to open up to them, and maybe you guys can go on that journey of healing together. That helps as well. But like I said, you have to treat yourself like a baby, and help grow yourself up and help realize, what's really going on with you. Because nobody else can do it for you.
Yep, that's the thing, that, what they say, inner work, that's only what you can do. No one else, again, like sister said, no one else can do that for you. And a lot of people expect to fill that hole, by, being with other people or doing other things, but it never works. It's something that you have to do for yourself, by yourself. So
Yep.
I know it could be challenging though to,
Yes.
face yourself, but you need that in order to, elevate. You need to acknowledge the things that's going on within you, so that way you can correct it, you
Yeah.
know.
And a lot of things, once you really start to heal within yourself, the physical things that you may struggle with, you know, some of them will probably disappear. You'll be able to be stronger to face other things once you get the inner self together. And a lot of things, you'll find that some things that you used to tolerate, you won't even tolerate anymore.
Yep,
You just,
that's correct. Because you went within yourself, you're able to learn yourself. So now you're able to even create boundaries regarding what you can handle, what can take, what you would accept,
hmm,
in your life and yourself. So yeah, you'll be able to protect your energy for real
yeah, you
because you
will.
learned.
You know what makes you tick. You
Mm.
know what. What makes you cry, what makes you laugh, you'll understand. You know, we are the biggest project to ourselves that we'll ever have. And that's why it's so important to focus on us, focus on yourself. You know, if you have children, you have a husband, you still need that time to focus on yourself a little bit. I don't care if it's, just an hour before you go to bed or something, but you need that time because you can't be good to them if you can't be good to yourself.
Mhm. That's correct. Like I talked to, you know, sister about that. It's like, you can't give if your cup is empty. So
Yes,
you only can give from your overflow. So,
yes, yes. And we as mothers and wives, I know that's something that we do. We constantly give, 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 give. And so it's very important to make sure that you are getting filled up as well. You know, very important stuff. You know,
yep, I agree with that sentiment, sis. I agree 100%.
yes, um, it's not easy by far to deal with, you know, the inner things, especially if you had things happen to you as a child or, as a young adult or even as an adult. A lot of women have a lot of things going on with them and, their relationship with their husbands and things like that. Um, take the time out to really understand you.
Mhm. Because not only you're helping yourself, but you're helping, the next generation
Yep,
when you're doing your inner work.
yep,
They don't really talk about it that much, but
yep,
once we start working with ourselves, we start breaking, those, curses or generational curses that gets passed down to our seed though, because our
yeah,
seed is learning from us.
yep. Your daughters are watching. If you are treating, your husband crazy, or you have this hate against men because of the situation you're in, or something, your daughter is watching. She is going to mimic that, and it's going to be even worse than yours.
Yep. And if
You're
you don't
creating.
resolve that, then she's gonna be the same way. She's gonna be just like you because you didn't do the inner work.
She's going to be worse.
Oh yeah.
She's going to be worse than what you are because she's getting fed and she's learning that it's not coming from a place of hurt with
Mm.
with her. She's going to have a detachment. So, like, really be careful, teaching your young daughters how to, hating the opposite sex, hating it. Like, you really have to watch what you do, and that all comes from really, going within yourself. Because once you go within yourself, you can be real with situations that happen in your life. You're not looking at, just what the person did, the man did to you. You're also looking at what you contribute into. Because a lot of times, you know, since we are the gatekeepers as women, we are the gatekeepers. So if we didn't give that man the okay to do, he wouldn't have been able to do. It
Yep.
will
I
stop
agree.
as soon as you say enough is enough. Everything will stop when you say enough is enough and you're ready to walk away.
Yep. Because the truth of the matter is, are we truly victims? Because we can allow or disallow with whatever comes to our life. So a lot of people don't want to hear that, but we have to be accountable. for all the choices that we made, because
Yep.
we do play a part in
And I want
everything in our lives.
really want you guys to understand what she's saying. She's not saying that women that are going through things are not victims. That is not what she's saying. But you still have to look at what you did to contribute. When you start to heal, you can look at different points in your life and realize what you could have done to make the outcome different. It won't just be, oh, this person did this to me. I'm talking about as a grown woman, not a child. I'm not talking about children. We're talking about grown women at this point. If they were in certain situations, you have to look at what you allowed also. And that comes with growth, and that comes with understanding yourself.
Yep, yep. You hit the the hammer on the nail there, sis. So
Yes, well, thank you, sis. I really hope you guys really take something from this session, because the whole point is to just all of us grow as a community, as women, because we need each other. Um, you got
yes.
anything else to say, sis?
No, that is it.
Well, we thank you guys for tuning into our show today.
All
Again.
right. Tune in for next time. Take care.
All right. Bye bye. Thank you guys.